great crowd that's coming in. I can see the attendance that keeps going up. Well, let me introduce myself just real quickly as we get started here. My name is Eric Auger. I'm the Director of Research and Development here at American Business Systems, and I'm sure we'll be talking about some of the roles that we all play here at American Business Systems. But again, if you can tell on this little screen right there, you can see that little button right there that has that hand. So again, for those that have not clicked that little hand, that'll be a big help for us. But again, I think you're hearing this just fine. Well, let me explain to you, for those that are brand new to our webinars on Wednesdays, let me explain who we are. So who is American Business Systems? Well, first of all, we're a company that's been around for at least now 20 years, helping folks just like yourself to get involved in the business of medical billing, and more importantly, just being able to work from home. There is certainly a lot of people who want to be able to work and have this type of a business, and they'd be able to work just directly from home. So as you can see, as these other people are doing right there. Well, what makes you able to do that? Well, first of all, it's this system that we were just showing here on the screen that allows you through the web to do all of the medical billing. There's no special software or anything that you need to load on your computer, and there's really not anything more than what you're using currently right now as your computer, as you're watching us on the right here through the webinar today. All right, so what you can do here as we keep going through here, you'll want to go, if you haven't been able to go through our website just yet, you're going to want to go to www.absystems.com, and you'll see right there are some big orange buttons. What that will let you do is actually get more information that's even more than what we ever actually have already put up on our website already. So once you click on those buttons, this is going to actually get you to what's called our virtual brochure. And folks, this is where you're going to actually do a lot of your due diligence. Each one of these sections where it says opportunity, getting clients, training, support, you can see that those are broken up into even some subsections there to allow you to go as deep as you need to go. And then through there are also some licensees that you can not only listen to their videos, but actually talk to as well. So you want to kind of get into that virtual brochure if you haven't done that already. A lot of folks ask us about where we stand with the Better Business Bureau. We still still maintain an A+ rating. A lot of people ask, are you a real business? Just go check us out there. You can see that we are, and that we still have a great standing with them. For those that would like to come by and visit with us, please feel free. We are located here in Texas, and we're just in a town north of Fort Worth. So for those that want to drive in, we'll help you with the directions to get on the north part of Fort Worth. But those that might want to fly in, just let us know. We'll figure out some way to pick you up from the airport, bring you back to the office, and you can see our address right there, 5751 Kroger Drive, here in Keller, Texas. And our next training class, which is now 5.5 weeks away. We just concluded our January class. We do hold these every 6 weeks, so you can see there's not a February date that's available. It is only 6 weeks away, which puts us right at the first week of March. So you're going to want to mark that down on your calendar if you're thinking about getting into this business. Also, let me start to introduce you to our founder and CEO of American Business Systems, Patrick Phillips. Not only has he been a national speaker on so many fronts, but he also is an author, and he's written a couple of books. One, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success. You can actually find that on Amazon.com. And the other one, which is called Cash Crunch to Cash Flow. Now, folks, this is a book that you're going to want to use as part of your business model in the medical billing. This is truly the Bible of what's going on in medical billing. So if you also want to find other articles that have been written by him, he is also one of the editorial is on the editorial blog of Billing and Coding Advantage magazine, BC Advantage, and it's a great magazine. This is directly to billing and coding. So here is one of his latest articles that was just published for the December and January, so it's a very recent article on how doctors can cut their billing up to 50%. So you want to check him out there, and I'm sure you can even find that there on the the internet as well. So let me bring Patrick on with us. Patrick, it's good to have you here this afternoon.
Thanks, Eric. This is going to be pretty interesting. We've never done this webinar before. So for those of you still looking into this
Right.
business, uh, this is about as real as it gets. We're going to just reveal and open up the doors. This is the wizard behind the curtain today. So
There you go.
yeah. Hey, in fact, let's go back to, let me go back to that slide that we just had up there. Oh, I think I went the wrong way. This one with the article. This is one way to prove that this is a real business. You can actually go to, I think it's billing-coding.com is the website for BC Advantage Magazine. And folks, you'll find my article there online, of course, and all the other articles. And you'll also be able to read about this industry. This is a real business. This is not a fad. It's not flavored yogurt or windshield repair or something that might be a little passing fad. This has been around for, well, we've been in business for 20 years. You can see from our logo up in the upper left-hand corner there. And so it's going to be around for a long time. As long as there's sick people and doctors, I think there'll always be a need for people to help those doctors get their billing done. Don't you, Eric?
Oh, absolutely. And I know so many people are concerned about what we know as the Affordable Care Act, which we also know as AKA Obamacare. A lot of people are concerned about, is medical billing going to go away? And folks, let me just say this. If you haven't been up to our blog, that is absystems.com/blog. Patrick and I, and what do you say, Patrick, in the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've covered a lot of things that were going on with Obamacare, and what about doctors going into being bought up by hospitals and all that. We've covered a lot of that, I would say, again, in the last 6 to 8 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, in fact, some of the webinars that we've done probably in the last even 6 months, we've kind of continually gone back to that subject because that seems to be a big concern in the minds of people who are looking at getting into this business. And so we answer all those questions about the ACA there, how that it's actually helped our business. Our licensees are signing up more doctors now than they were before it came along. So it's been a boom for us in this industry. So this article here, by the way, how doctors can cut their billing costs by up to 50%. You can't read that, it's kind of tiny. But if you did want to get a copy of this, we can tell you how to get a copy, right, Eric? Don't they just call us or email us and ask us?
Yeah, just ask us, anybody that you're dealing with. It doesn't matter. Just shoot us an email right after this, and we will send you a copy of this as a PDF so that you can read it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the basis of it is this. The doctors can cut their billing costs by outsourcing their billing. And so it's really a marketing piece for our licensees. Our licensees are reproducing this and putting their contact information on it to be able to leave with doctors because it's from a reputable magazine by a reputable guy, and it tells doctors why they should be outsourcing their billing. So that's why I did that article. Okay, so Eric, if we want to entertain questions, I guess we could just tell them about that.
Yeah, absolutely, folks. You are going to, throughout the presentation, you may come across some questions that you haven't thought about. So feel free to just jot your questions down in this little jot area where it says type your question in here. And as we go through the presentation, we may not get to your question right then because we know we're about to answer that. But feel free to go ahead and type any of your questions there. We'll certainly get it answered one way or the other.
Yeah, and that control panel, by the way, may be hidden somewhere with all your windows. If you've got a bunch of stuff going right now on your computer, you may have to look for that control panel to find that little button, but it's back there somewhere. Okay, so let's jump right into this, Eric. Is medical billing a real business? Now, what we mean by that, folks, is it something that is real and that has a real potential, that people really are making money at it? And so one way that we've thought that you could prove that is to, first of all, do what Eric told you earlier, and that is to take our tour. We have an ETour, we call it, and you can see those two red arrows there are pointing to the orange buttons. This is on our website, which is down at the bottom of the screen there, absystems.com. So if you haven't gone there and maybe you were just invited to this webinar some other way, go and browse around on the website and then click one of those orange buttons. After filling in just a little information there, we'll take you straight into that tour. And I'm going to actually switch now, Eric, to that tour. If I can find it here on my screen, I think this is it coming up here. Yeah, okay. So see, let's see if it's going to show up here. I'm looking on a monitor here. It takes a while. There it is. Okay, so this is it live. I've actually gone right to the ETour, and just to show you guys, because we haven't ever done this before live, to show you that, look, here in just the welcome section alone, we've got what, 14 different screens that you'll be going through. So you'll just be hitting the next button here, going from one screen to the next. And as you can see, sometimes it's just text and pictures. Sometimes it's a video. We go into the details about the industry itself, facts about our industry and so forth. And then sometimes you'll get to actual videos where we actually have testimonials from people who are in the business and that type of thing. There's an opportunity section. There's 22 of those, as you can see here. And then there's getting clients. We go into detail about how we help you actually get clients. You'll hear from some of our existing licensees there. We go in depth into our live training workshop and how that works and what all you'll get during that week here. Support, we go into our support because we know that's a concern once you've gone through the training. How do I get support? And so we've got some testimonials about that. We go into the technology about all of the different services that we have. And then we even give you the exact steps to take to, to get on our team and become a part of the ABS licensee network.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so, folks, don't be afraid. Patrick, what I see is, at least on my side sometimes, I'll see some people get through maybe that first and second portion of the virtual brochure and stop. So we want to encourage yourselves to really go through that because, again, it's a wealth of information that you can get on your own. And I mean, again, I've already got one question here from, is it Baskar? He's asking the questions, well, how do I get clients to get in the business? Well, we do actually take you on, as you can see here, how to get clients. You can see there that you can actually go through there. So we've got some time that you can go through that with videos and, again, other text there as well.
Well, that kind of brings us to our next topic here, and that is that live training workshop that you mentioned earlier. Folks, there's no better way for you to know that this is a real business than to be able to sit with other people, your other peers, people who've done the due diligence and made the step to invest in this business and come down to our live workshop that you see here. As you can see, it's usually about, anywhere from, Eric, I'd say, 12 people in this class last week. This is last week's class, by the way. And then sometimes we've had up to 20. 20 is the very maximum that we can fit in this room. But we like these smaller groups because, as you can see, it's kind of like a conference where everybody can see everybody else. They share questions. They ask the questions that you wished you had thought of, and it's just a great interaction. Lots of breakouts, exercises, and that kind of thing. And by the way, it's taught by a real licensee, a lady who's been in our business for Eric, since 2008. It's 5 years.
Right.
That Cynthia Anderson there that you see in the picture has been in the business herself, running her own business. She takes a week off every 6 weeks to come down here and do our training for us. And it's as live and as real as it gets.
Yeah, and now everybody that I've ever talked to, Patrick, that goes through the training, they appreciate not only the fact that they actually hear from us, which we are corporate, we're the corporate people at ABS, but very much appreciate the fact that we bring in folks that are actually doing the business outside of what we do in our research and development. So it is good to hear from folks that are actually in it. So when we ask the question, is medical billing a real business? Prove it. Well, we're trying to do that in such a fashion to let you know that we use real people who are actually out there. And I'm looking at the questions that they're coming in. Now, I'm going to just kind of read through a few of them. I'm not going to answer them, but questions as hospitals are increasingly outsourcing their billing to India. What would make the doctors not do the same? How does your software compare to others? And we're going to get to those in more detail in just a moment. But these people, that lady that you're seeing there in the front of that room right now, faces those questions every single day.
Yeah.
And we know that. So that's why Patrick does bring in these folks here. And again, not only to hear it from us, but you'll actually hear it from a licensee that actually teaches the class.
Yeah, we figure who better to learn from than somebody that's actually out there actually doing it themselves. So, by the way, one of the questions I see here is from Chanel. Chanel, is there a way to find out if your city has any ABS licensees? Well, yes, there is. Your ABS rep that you've been dealing with that has been sending you the emails about these webinars can certainly tell you, if there's people in your area there. Okay, so Eric, I thought we would just look at some of the evaluations to show you guys that this is real.
Yeah.
We've taken this group of people that you see right here, and we've actually pulled up the evaluations that we have people do at the end of the training workshop. And as you can see from some of this, I'm just going to briefly just touch on some of these just so you can see. But look, this one says marketing. This was, what did you find most useful? Marketing. Opened up my eyes to all the different and inexpensive ways to obtain a client. Well, that answers one of the questions there, folks. During this week, Eric, what is it about? I guess almost 50% of the week is on the marketing part.
Yeah, I would actually say it's more than that, because we know we're teaching that from day one. Even when we do the hands-on activities, because we know people really do want to get their hands on the software. We know in the background, as we're teaching this, we're always teaching it to marketing. And so, folks, you're going to have questions throughout your due diligence with us. How am I going to get those clients? How quickly can I get those clients? What are the best ways to get those clients? Folks, that's what you learn in this training class. And the way that you like to put it, Patrick, is this is not you and I sitting back going, I wonder how we can get those people clients. These are proven ways of how licensees are getting clients. And so that's what we're teaching there.
Yeah, in fact, I while you were talking there, Eric, I actually found the actual document here that has those in there. And let's see, I'm going to just show a couple of glimpses at some of these things. You'll notice that this first one says right there, none. What is least useful to you during the class? None. I feel all topics go hand in hand and are needed for a successful business. I'll throw the actual document up there. Here it comes, so you can see that a little bit better. What would you like more of? All topics listed, covered, and answered my questions. Is that listed? I don't know. All topics, something there. Anyway, covered and answered my questions. Can't read that. Let's see. Let's just go right on down here. There's some others here. This one says the best thing that they liked about it was the overview of the licensee, the in-depth and introduction, and the demos. We actually give live demos, as you saw there from the picture. I think we had the laptops in the picture there. But anyway, that's what we do. Everything was timely. Nothing was least important to this person. We could just go on and on, guys. These are the real things, the real questions that these people answered at the end of the week. This one says, I found every topic to be useful. However, I would like to have had it organized in an agenda fashion. We joke about that, Eric. We don't have an agenda during the week, do we?
No, we don't. And again, because we customize, now I hate to even say customize it, we have the material in there in an organization fashion. But as we go through it, we tenure it directly to that particular class. So as questions come up, we certainly take care of those as we go along.
Yeah. Hey, I had a somewhere here an email from one of these people that actually emailed us after the class. I'm going to find it here. I think it's one of the next slides that come up. Let's see if that's true. I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, yes. Here's one from Todd, who was in the class last week. I'm going to throw that up on the screen here. This is the actual email he sent me, as you can see, just yesterday. Patrick, I just wanted to thank you for an inspirational and insightful week of training. I was very impressed with the quality of the training. I've attended many training events, and this is the best I have attended. I also wanted to thank your staff for the help leading up to the training event. On the flight home, I had the opportunity to read your book, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success, and I've also started to listen to your CD. I plan to implement this knowledge into my daily activities to maximize my business and personal life. Isn't that a cool testimonial there?
That's awesome. That's really, really nice. And matter of fact, Patrick, I just got a call from Chris, one of the other guys that was in the classes last week. It's amazing what he has already started doing. And so, folks, you can truly leave class Friday, and then today's Wednesday. He's already told me everything that he's done up to this point, and getting introduced into doctors already. So, folks, we want you to understand that this is a real business, and we treat it as it's your business. And we want to make sure that the things that need to be covered, especially your questions that you're asking, how quickly can I get my clients? Because again, without a client, you're not in business. That's what we're focusing in our attention on our training.
Right. This lady says, what was most useful? Business networking. We go into detail in how to do that the right way, not the wrong way, and all marketing related sections. My main area of concern was how to market myself and promote my services. The material very thoroughly covered how to go about doing so. So folks, there you're reading this from the people who were just here last week in the class. They just go on and on. It's usually just overly enthusiastic. And of course, once you see some of the testimonials on our blog, you'll actually see their real face and hear their voice say these things too. Anyway, I thought I'd share this, Eric, because I thought, well, how else can we prove that it's real other than just to show what the people who were there last week actually said about it,
Right. And these are the same people that were asking the questions on webinars, just like the folks that are here today. So you can see that these dates are January the 24th, 2014. So this is just last week's evaluations.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to our slides where we were there. Yeah, here we go. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about how else you can prove this is real. Well, one way you can do that is by looking at our actual contracts that licensees have actually gotten doctors to sign. So let's see what I've got here in the next slide. Yes, this is actually the first page of a service agreement, we call it, that we teach you, and of course we provide this to you, how to put your name and the doctor's name in this. It's actually about 4 or 5 pages long. I'm going to skip now to the last page where this licensee has broken down what they're going to charge the doctor. And as you can see, their initial setup fee is $10,000. Now, the great news for you guys is that this is your business, right? This is not a franchise. ABS is not getting a part of that $10,000. You are getting the whole net profit on that setup fee of $10,000. Now, you do have some setup fees to get the doctor up and running on our system, but Eric, what are we talking about under $500? So this $10,000 is a pretty good profit for this licensee.
Absolutely.
I think for this one, it may be a little higher because actually, as you can see right here, this is for five providers.
Right. Yeah, this is for 5 providers.
Yeah, and then of course, so there's a monthly accessing fee that the doctor pays. By the way, notice they're charging 5.5%. People ask us, can we really get 5, 6, 7, 8%? Yes. This is all based on the circumstances of this particular practice, though. Remember, so any figures that you see here, of course, are determined by you. With our help, we can give you some input on that. And as you can see, they've even agreed to work the old outstanding AR insurance. That's the old claims that are just kind of sitting around the office. And instead of 5.5%, you get 30% on those, or at least that's what they charged in this particular instance. So, yeah, these are real. Here's another one. This is another one from one of our licensees, and as you can see, they got a $4,000 setup fee. It's probably just one doctor, one practice doctor there, and they're charging 6%. Yeah. So they all vary, they're all different. But guys, we help you with this. Remember, we're giving you these templates that you simply plug in the doctor's name and the fees that you want to charge, and you pass that back by us if you want to. We'll give you some input on that, and then you give it to the doctor in a nice presentation form.
Hey, Patrick, I want to interject a question here. And Henry's asking the question here. We're going back to what we were talking about there about those evaluations and everything. Henry asked the question about, so do you collect 90-day follow-up evaluations to see comments on how things are going? I appreciate that because you want to know that's right after training. What about afterwards? Well, let me share with you what Patrick and I do. Before the next class, actually, another 45 days later, we actually do a one-on-one go-to meeting with everybody that's in that class. And yes, we do that. And then even further than that, we continue to work with our folks. So if there's any skepticism to find out whether it's just a hoorah type of training, and then we leave them alone, we do actually work with our licensees very specifically for that particular class. So Henry, I hope that answers your question there.
Yeah, and then we hear back from the licensees on a regular basis, of course. Like this is actually an excerpt, what you're looking at here on your screen, from what we call the practice analysis. Now, this is actually let's see, Eric, what is this, up to 4 pages, 5 pages? It's getting longer as we think of some more questions that we can ask doctors. But let me go back and just show you a glimpse at the first page of one. This is what it looks like. And some of the questions on here we took out of this one just so you can see what they answer. The question is how much total charges are billed per month to the insurance company. So you're finding out from this practice, what is it you're billing each month to insurance? $1 million. Look at that.
Right.
Now the important part is the next question. How much on average is collected per month from the insurance companies? Look at this, Eric. $350,000.
Where's 650? The other 650,000.
I don't know, but the next question is even more telling because we asked the people, we tell them that the Healthcare Finance Administration states that 34% of all claims filed are rejected. Would you say you're about average? They think that they're below average. If that's the case, where is this this $650,000 here?
Yeah, it's amazing. And folks, these are real practice analysis that we're showing you here.
One of the things we ask is their average cost for their software and hardware upgrade and support. In other words, if the doctor is doing the billing themselves in their own office, then they are paying something. Look at this one. This client, this practice is paying $5,000 a month, Eric, and that does include their EHR, of course. That's why it's probably so expensive. And look at this. How much is spent on updates annually? $45,000. And do you have a per user fee? Yes. So there's some each month some per user fees. Eric, we don't have any of that kind of thing. This is why our licensees find it pretty easy to sell against anything that's out there. If the doctor is already doing the billing for in their own office, it's just amazing.
Right. Yeah, and folks, this is what a lot of people are asking. How do I go out there and get those doctors? One of the first things we teach you is to do what's called this practice analysis questionnaire, as Patrick is showing you. And so we don't want you to get into a selling mode. That's why we're showing this to you, because this is nothing about selling. You're not selling software. You're not selling some latest fashion thing or something new to the doctor. You're not even selling them widgets or pharmaceuticals or anything else.
Yeah.
You're showing them from this practice analysis their true baseline of what's going on with their financials.
You're going in basically as a consultant. It's called consultant selling, and that means that all you have to do is ask the questions that we have on this questionnaire. And once you've got the answers to these questions, it will tell you whether or not you can even help this practice. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Now, 99% of the time you can, but they don't know that until you get this information. We show you how to come back to the office, put it into some software that actually presents a nice broken down report showing the doctor from their own figures from this questionnaire how you can save them some money. I'll give you an illustration of that here in just a second. But first, look at this one, Eric. I love this little statement here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. One of the things that the office manager says is that they're frustrated. She believes that money is missing but has no way to find out.
Wow. And
you know why? Because of this question. Do you have access to their system? No. So this practice has outsourced their billing to some company that doesn't have the real-time web-based, cloud-based technology that ABS licensees have. And therefore, they have no way to see what the status of their money really is. With us, folks, you're going to be able to say to the doctor, we have complete transparency. You can see everything about the status of your claims at any time, 24/7, from any device in the world that has internet connection. Pretty unique.
since we're on the subject of software, I'm going to go back to Marisol's question. How does this software compare to the software doctors actually use in their office? Is this currently being used in private medical offices? Actually, you want to take that first question. How does this compare to software doctors actually use?
Well, folks, there are all sorts of software packages out there sold to doctors. Some of them very expensive. I'm talking about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000,
Right.
and a lot of them are server based. That means it's just installed on the computers in the doctor's office, which is very dangerous when it comes to the HIPAA rules and regulations for patient privacy. What if the computer's stolen overnight? Somebody has all that patient data, right? Now, there are some cloud-based software systems out there similar to iClaim, which is our branded version of our software. But folks, it doesn't really matter. It's not all about the software. Remember, it's the total revenue cycle management that you provide to a doctor's office. You become the solution for all of their revenue problems, including their patient receivables.
Right.
And so, yes, it's similar to software. Look, you put data in, it's the patient data, name, address, city, state. It's all about the same. I mean, really, you could literally just say that software is software. The difference is ours is real time, and it's tied into our own clearinghouse. This is why we have such a low rejection rate on our claims compared to all the other systems that are out there. You think that answered it, Eric? I don't know.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. Then let's jump into another reason why this business is real. This is one of our marketing pieces. And as you can see, it's just a flyer that we've got some pictures of doctors on there. And the title is Why Doctors Outsource Their Billing. So when you give this to a doctor who does not outsource their billing, they get to read these kinds of testimonials. Let's read a couple of them here. Here's the first doctor. This is Ashley K. Mack. She says, my billing was horribly tedious and very time consuming. When I outsourced my billing, I was able to get my headache away. I can track what's happening with each and every claim online 24/7 at my convenience. Now, folks, these are doctors that are actually clients of some of our licensees. And they've given their testimonials here on these things. Here's Dr. Johnny Walker. I love that name, don't you, Eric?
Right.
He says, in this day and age, with all the complexities of medical billing, I can't imagine doing it any other way. That is, billing in-house at this point. A good physician has to decide when to delegate responsibility. Donna Catanzaro. Medical billing is very difficult unless you outsource. To do it in the office would take a lot more time and money. It's allowed me to get better reimbursement on my claims because I have an entire billing company behind me to check claims and follow up on them. They have a wonderful online system that allows us to check on claims, update patient information, and much more. Here's Dr. Kevin Tedoro. Outsourcing my billing has allowed me to spend more time taking care of my patients while not worrying about the headaches and the regulations that go with it. Eric, this is really what it boils down to, right? Doctors want to see patients. That's what they were trained to do.
That is correct. Absolutely.
I think there's one more here. Here's Kevin Kuchek. He says, no doctor wants to deal with insurance companies or with patients who won't or can't pay. Outsourcing my billing takes me away from worrying about billing my patients and lets me concentrate on our main focus, practicing medicine. All right, well, there you heard it from the doctors themselves, folks. We don't make this stuff up. All right. Well, I guess I'll just move on here to the next subject. Any other questions coming in there that you need to just jump in there? I know I talk fast.
I'm kind of monitoring any questions. I will go ahead and say this, since Toya is asking the question about what do you mean by clearinghouse. I'll go ahead and take that one real quickly.
Good.
Kind of give you a break from talking a little bit there. But a clearinghouse, when we've moved from when billing used to be just done on paper, which we could just do it on paper and then mail it to the insurance company. Once we moved from that to electronics, we had to go, there was an item that was created in the middle, which is called a clearinghouse. So now that we can process claims on a computer and we can send those electronically, they have to be formatted for each one of those insurance companies, whether it's
Aetna or all different,
or whatever it might be. So that clearinghouse takes those claims and then formats them directly for each one of those those payers. And so what is in the industry today is that a doctor will have a billing system, or even a medical billing company will have a billing system, but use a third-party clearinghouse to process all their claims before they get to those payers. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us, there's our differentiator. We actually own and operate our own clearinghouse. So that's why Patrick says it's done in real time. We're literally doing claims in real time, because once we get through with it with an iClaim, it does go to the clearinghouse instantaneously, gets cleared and ready to go just to the next step, which would be directly to the payers. So it's almost like we're going in the old days, where instead of mailing it going directly to the insurance company, now since we operate our own clearinghouse, we're literally doing that in real time now. We're literally going from our system now to the payers. So it's almost like we've taken a step out, but we haven't, because we have to have that clearinghouse. It's just that we own our own. So Toya, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and the neat thing about that is that that's why it's so so low a rejection rate, because we're not going to let it go to the insurance company from our clearinghouse until it's 98% correct. In other words, it has to be all the data that it needs. Now, sometimes it's rejected because when it gets to the insurance company, of course, the patient maybe was not even, verified, and they weren't covered. But the point is, folks, that by having that control over that third party and not having a third party that we send it out to, it just makes it much more real time for our licensee. The doctor can actually go on their iPad. They can take their iPad, log into our system, and live, they can actually see the status of their claims right now, 24/7. They love that, don't they, Eric?
Absolutely. I mean, that was one of the things that we found in one of those practice analysis, is that, one of the questions, do you have access to their system? That lady said no, and that's one of the reasons why. She doesn't know where their money is going. So again, one of our differentiators is that we own and operate our own clearinghouse, which gives us to give to the doctors a very transparent view of us doing billing.
Yep. Okay, Eric, we're going to move along here. This is a book that you can find right now at Barnes & Noble or online on Amazon.com. It's by Entrepreneur Magazine. They've been around for like 40 years, publishing a magazine called Entrepreneur, and they publish a series of books called their Startup series. This one is on starting your own medical claims billing business. Now, why am I actually telling you about this book? First of all, not many people can take this book for, whatever it costs, $20, and go out and start their own medical billing business. There's just too much involved in that, and they don't have the secrets that we've learned over 20 years on how to get clients. But it is available. You can learn a lot about the business out there. The reason I show it to you is because in the back of the book, they give resources, all kinds of resources in this book. And one of them is business opportunities. In other words, if you want to buy a ready-to-go business, who do you go to? Well, you can see we're listed in that book. In fact, there's only one other company, and if you find those in this book and go to their website, you'll find out that they're out of business. So we're the only one out there doing this kind of thing that Entrepreneur actually recommends in their book. Pretty proud of that.
It's nice being recognized by someone outside of who we are. I mean, truly, there is other business opportunities that do all sorts of things out there, whether it's billing or even home health care or anything else like that. But very specifically, medical claims billing service, they recommend it as a good startup business, good work from home, have a different type of a business. But then really, outside the other one, we're the only other ones that they actually recommend as a resource to understand how to actually get involved in this particular business.
We're the only ones lasted for 20 years, Eric. There have been other companies that do something similar to what we do. They've come and gone, and we've seen them go, haven't we?
Exactly.
Again, this whole webinar is on, is it a real business? Well, I just got this yesterday. It's an email from one of our licensees. Look what she says. Thank you, Patrick. I just sent her a little thank you gift. She says, I'm thankful for you. I wish I had lots and lots of time to talk to every single person that's interested in becoming a licensee. It's changed my life, and I'm so very grateful to you and my ABS family. You better not be sending me anything, and I mean it. I could never do enough to repay you for all that you've done for me. Folks, it does not get any more real than that. I was pretty excited about getting that. Okay.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. Good feedback.
Yep. All right, let's see. What did I show this for? Oh, yes, I wanted to show you our team. Now, if you haven't been to our website and seen our team, you can go right up here under About Us, Meet the Team. You see it right over here. And it's a page that looks like this. Of course, it has a picture of me, my wife, my son. It's a family business. We tell you all about ourselves, and we go into detail about some of the other people that are on our advisory board, like Dr. Mark Bussell. He's here in Fort Worth. You can find out anything you want to know about Dr. Bussell. He's on our team. He advises us. We meet with him at a restaurant that he owns here in Fort Worth on a regular basis and get some advice from him on all kinds of stuff. He is our medical director, and he oversees staff in the research and development of the cloud-based medical system, including, of course, Eric, who is the director of our research and development here. So we have another doctor who's on our medical advisory board, Dr. Sally Combest. She's a senior medical advisor out of San Antonio. She is a practicing physician, and she basically teaches for us, does webinars. She did one here just, Eric, about 3 weeks ago on ICD-10.
Yeah, exactly.
So check these people out, guys. I mean, this is how you prove that a company is for real. Terrence Patterson has a degree in, it's a marketing consultant degree, and he's also a master's degree of education in healthcare management. And so he's done webinars for us. He consults with us. He does consulting with and mentoring of some of our licensees. He's just a great resource. And of course, he's also a licensee, as is Dr. Combest. Here's Jeanette Weiler. She's a certified professional coder and a member of the American Academy of Professional Coders. She's done webinars for us, teaches for us as well, and works one-on-one with licensees to assist with training and consulting on all kinds of things. So again, go check us out. If you haven't done that, shame on you.
Hey, Marisol is asking a question. Do you need training or certifications in ICD-9 and 10 or training in ICD-9 coding? So with what you just said with Jeanette, Marisol, no, you don't need any training or certification in ICD-9 or 10. We actually help you with that. We have, again, folks like Jeanette Weiler on our team that can actually help answer any of your questions as well. But we actually have, as part of one of the services that we do have here, excuse me, which is Audit Code Write, which if you need help with any of those codes, that's part of what you're going to be getting from us here at American Business Systems. Plus, I'll even interject this, inside our iClaim EMRX system, there is already mapping there for the ICD-9s to the ICD-10s. So truly, you don't need certification on that at all, Marisol.
No, that's right. But good question. We have a lot of people wondering about that because there's all kinds of courses offered at local colleges and things like that. Folks, don't spend the time and money on that kind of thing. We have people come through our training here. In a week's time, they learn everything they need to know to go out and start this business. And then we, with our staff and our technology partners, we back you up with all that stuff that you don't have, like that kind of training. Now, I wanted just to show another way to prove that this business is real. Here is an actual practice revenue report. I told you that once you've done the practice analysis with the doctor's office, you bring that back and put that into this software that produces this report. And we're actually letting you see behind the scenes the actual figures here from one of our licensees who prepared it for a doctor. As you can see, their average number of claims in this practice was about 2,500 claims a month at about $90 average per claim. Their approximate rejection rate in-house was about 20% on their claims. And their hours spent doing the billing was about 480. At average wage paid per hour is about 13. They didn't include any kind of benefits or anything there. But anyway, the point is that their billing revenue was about $181. Now, folks, with our rejection rate nationwide at less than 2%, you see it down here, look at the projected income for this, a revenue increase each month for this practice of $32,659. Eric, that's nothing to sneeze at, is it?
No, it really isn't. And it's what you grab out of that practice analysis. of what we teach you there in class.
That's right. You just plug in the numbers and the calculation.
The numbers here. We actually have two separate practice revenue reports. One that if the doctor's doing the billing in-house, and then one that if they're outsourcing it to another company. So we actually have two different reports that you can actually utilize for providing this report back to the doctor.
That's right. Bottom line for this doctor, we're going to increase their revenue per year at about $250,000. And yes, this licensee figures that with that kind of increase, even with that kind of increase, they can charge 8% to this doctor. Look, that means for the licensee, see this number right here? $17,128 a month that they will be earning, that the doctor will be paying to this licensee. Why? Because even with that, we still increase their revenue by $32,000 a month. So it's a win-win for everybody. Doesn't get any more real than that.
No, it doesn't. That's the beauty about this particular business. And like I was talking with someone not too long ago, Patrick, we were just discussing, about overhead. There's no overhead in this business. You don't have to keep stockpiling of anything in your office or in your garage or anything else like that. And you can scale it to however you want to scale it. Now, I know that we don't talk a whole lot about scaling this business, but what we mean by that is you can keep it as small as you want to. You can create it as large as you want to, and even if you want to create it large, you still don't have to get commercial space. You can still create this as large as a virtual type of a business, just simply because of what we've been able to do with you so far.
That's right. Okay, I put this screenshot of our website up here again because I wanted to point to people to be sure and check out our blog. Now, Eric, here's where I'm going to actually let you play a little excerpt from the sound from one of our recent blogs. So let me see if I have that up on the screen here. I think I have the actual blog there. Yeah, here it comes. Now, folks, look, you can see the date right here. Oh, it's not there yet. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm switching. Takes a little while on the graphics here. All right, there we go. See right up here? Look, published on January 29th, 2014. Isn't that today? Yeah, so we just posted this today. Some of you probably don't even know it's there. I want to have Eric just play just a little portion of this. So, Eric, if you'll do that, I'm going to mute my computer here and play just a little bit of it here so they can see the picture of the lady that's going to actually be speaking once you get it going there.
Very good. Okay, here I go.
When I was researching everything on the web, this is the only program that I found that had everything that I felt would suit me in creating a business. And when I came out here, it was so much more than I expected. And anybody who's thinking about starting a business and is having any reservations about spending the money and coming out here and doing it, it's well worth it. So much information packed into such a small amount of time, but the amount of support that you're going to get afterwards, it's just amazing. So do it.
Do it. I like it. Yeah, that sounded real good, Eric, by the way. We kind of timed that just right there. His speaker just picks up better than mine. And okay, so anyway, here's the point. You need to listen to that whole thing. It's what, 3 minutes and 41 seconds. But there's not just that now, guys. Look, you can scroll down on this page and you'll see that we've posted blogs at least once a week, every week for the past, 2.5, 3 years that we've been doing the blog, right, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. We got so much information there to go through. I mean, everything from, how to get your business going to testimonials to, the challenges that doctors are.
Oh, we lost you, Eric.
Yep, I actually accidentally hit that mute button on my new microphone.
Now, look, here's what I want to point out, though. At the bottom of each one of these pages, don't miss this little link right here. See it? Older articles. Because you will be able to go back on each page to older articles and go back in time to see all the other things. Now, let me get back to my slides here and just kind of give you some glimpses at some of the other testimonials that you'll see there. Oops, I did the wrong button there. Here we go. Hold on. It'll get there. All right. So here's an interview that we did December 12th. with licensee Matt Hoyer. I think he says Hoyer. You'll hear that. My son Adam did that interview. Then, if you go back beyond that, you'll see in September we did one with Tracy Clark. She came through our training in April of last year, and already has sales reps and has done lunch and learn seminars, and already has a client that's going to bring her maybe $6,000 to $7,000 a month, she says. Then here's one in October with Cash Tandon. They're right here in the Dallas area, and they have 3 offices now and over 25 employees doing billing for 35 medical practices. Here's one, if you go back a little bit further, to Scott Mathewson. He got his first client 60 days after he started his business, and he's growing his business. These are real people, folks. We don't have enough money to hire these kind of actors. Besides, some of them will let you travel to their place of business. Some of them have opened commercial office space and will let you move into this. Here's one, Tyranny Martins out in California. She has a 6,000 square foot building that she's moving into, I think, this month. So anyway, just go back and be sure and take a look at all the interviews at least. Now, there's other testimonials from previous trainings. There's articles on this industry that we post out there. But guys, the testimonials, these are, look, you shouldn't be asking us questions. I mean, not that we mind, right, Eric? But you should be asking these people. These are the people who've done the due diligence you're doing right now. They've spent the money. They've come through the training. They've experienced what is real about the business. We just did this one with Laura Dean. There are just so many out there, guys, that you've got to hear some of these people, and that will, I think, help you, be more comfortable with the fact that this is a real business because you're hearing from real people who've really done it. Okay. Well, this slide is to remind me to do something else, and I have not a clue what it is. Oh, this is not our website. It kind of looks like it, but this is our actual licensee support site. Now, folks, you can't get to this one now, but when you become a licensee, of course, you'll have access to this website. Look at all the good stuff that this thing has on it. All of our services are there, training to motivate. Eric, what would you say? There's 50, 60 hours of training on this website?
Please. Yeah, there's hours of training. There's step-by-step instructions how to do things. There's the marketing tools that are on there. Each service is on there. Again, how to use that. As you can see here, Patrick's got this one kind of snipped out of how do I make a proposal. But if you look up in the right-hand corner of what he's showing you, not only do we have our support number and when we're open, 9 to 5, but you can also see right next to it there's an online chat, live help. So there's never a time where you're not being able to get some support from us. The only time that you don't get support is when you don't ask for support. That's what we have come to realize here at American Business Systems.
Yeah. Now, Eric, while you were talking, I actually went behind the scenes and logged into the site live. You guys are looking at it live right now. You can see the live online help is ready right there. There's a phone number, of course. There's email. All kinds of ways to support, folks. You have no excuses to get support from us. But look, here's some of the stuff we've just recently done. We've just put up the. Sorry, what's that, Eric?
No, I was about to point that out about the ICD-10s right there.
Yeah. That was the one I think that Dr. Combest did for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we posted the PowerPoint presentation so people can use it in their own presentations. Guys, this is all recent stuff that we just posted. Look, you have a whole section on where do you start. You've got where can I learn about sales reps. Eric, tell them about our sales reps program.
Yeah, folks, a lot of people are a little bit still concerned even after they get out of training, or they really just want to kick their business into high gear and they want to hire sales reps. Now, we don't have sales reps that we hand to you, neither do we have them picked out. But we do have a sales rep program to teach you how to do that in your own business. Now, folks, you got to remember, when you get into this business, you're independent. You're not a franchisee of American Business Systems. So you run your business however you want to run your business. You can truly not have any sales reps, have sales reps, have strategic partnerships if you want to. We teach it all. But again, for those that have really made it big, Patrick, they've actually used sales reps. But what I have found out that most folks that come to training, they're a little bit skeptical about themselves, whether they can go market themselves. Folks, what you find out here is you will have the comfort level that you need to go out there and get it without you having to pay any commissions to anybody. Because you got to understand, even if you get a sales rep, you still have to pay them a commission on what business that they've brought in. Now, that eats into your profit that you got to understand. But if that's what you want to do and you want to grow that business big, you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of people come in here and go, you know what, Patrick? I think I could do that myself.
Yeah, you bet. In fact, sometimes we have licensees who learn from the sales reps. They go with them and learn what they do to actually, get the deals. But who wouldn't want a contract handed to you that's signed by a doctor with a big down payment deposit startup fee? That's just handed to you. Of course, you're going to give a little bit to the license to the sales rep. That's why they work on pure straight commission. All right, Eric, we got to wrap this up. Hey, I'm going to get back to the slides here, and then I'm going to get back to the slides and then go to the next slide. This is another article that I had published in another magazine. This is Billing and Coding also. I had one published a couple of months ago, The Bright Future for Medical Billing Companies. That's not showing, is it? Here it comes.
Nope. Yep.
I've got to push the button.
There you go. Now you got it.
Yeah. And so, again, folks, just ask your ABS rep if you'd like a copy of that. Also, we'll send that to you as a PDF. Eric, I guess we should kind of wrap up here and tell about the next training coming up again.
Yeah. First of all, there are some questions that we did not get a chance to answer this afternoon. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be answered. We do forward these to everyone that you've been dealing with here at ABS, so they'll have an opportunity to answer those questions personally to you. The other thing I want to remind you is if you haven't had an opportunity to see a demo of our system, ask your ABS rep that you're dealing with, and we'll be more than happy to do that as well, so that you kind of get a good grasp of what this business is and what you can be able to do. Now, with all that said, coming up in just about 5.5 weeks now, March the 3rd through the 7th. Now, this will get here before you know it. February is going to go by that fast, and we'll be right on top of March, and we'll be getting ready for that training class there in March. So March the 3rd through the 7th, if those that are looking to get started, and if you can think about it, by the time you get out of that class, you will already have gone through at least a quarter of this year. So you've already gone through the first quarter of this year with 2 quarters. Now, let me explain to what's about to happen. 2 more quarters of this year. Whenever we hit October 1, there's going to be some exciting things going to be happening for those doctor's offices that you actually need to get taken care of prior to October, which all has to do with the ICD-9, ICD-10 conversion. And there's some great ways that we can help you capture new business just by what's about to happen. So
talk about a window of opportunity. It doesn't.
Oh my goodness.
2014 is the window. It's the time to be in this business, folks. So get your due diligence done. Research us. Find out if we're for real. Talk to some of our licensees and get your paperwork done to get to this class. We've already got people lined up for that class, Eric. The seats are already filling up. We got, I think, 4 in today. 4 seats filled up today. So that will fill up for sure because we got, 5 weeks to go. So let me show you one other thing, folks. Before I put this up on the screen, I want to talk to you just eyeball to eyeball just for a second. Folks, when we started this business, we decided that we wanted to share with people the opportunity that my wife and I had back in 1987 when we got into the medical billing business. But a lot of people are scared because they don't know if this is for real. They don't know whether they should invest this much money. It is a lot of money for a lot of people. And so what we've decided to do is we decided to come up with a guarantee because we wanted you to feel comfortable coming down to this week's training. So we literally let you sit there in the class and learn everything we have to teach about this business. All of our proprietary information is given to you during that week. All of the secrets that we've learned over the last 20 years on how to help you get clients. This is what you're paying for. The license fee is our experience. Don't reinvent the wheel. You'll spend more than $25,000 just trying to learn what we've learned and put together what we've put together. Much more than that. So it is a good investment. We know that, but we know that you don't know that until you've come to the training. So here's what we've decided to do. We decided to actually tell you that you can come down and sit through that whole week, learn everything there is to learn about this business, and if for any reason, I'm putting this on the screen that has the actual guarantee on there because I want you to read it word for word. This is right out of our agreement that you'll sign. If at the end of the training workshop, for any reason you don't think this business is right for you, simply tell any staff member and they'll arrange for you to receive a full refund of your licensee fee. So I don't know how to be any fairer than that. Believe it or not, nobody takes advantage of that. We love what we do, and the people who love it, if you watch those testimonials out on our blog, you'll see why people don't ask for their money back. But it's there. And the money is kept in an attorney's trust fund until you've proven to yourself that this is for real. So thanks for being with us today, Eric. Appreciate you being here and kind of co-hosting this with me too.
Absolutely. And